Thank you all for joining tonight.
Good evening, good evening, everyone. Let's join. Let's join. My own brother is here.
Well, ma.
I hope you can still remember this song playing, sir. Let's
Ah,
come.
yeah,
I
I
call
can hear you now.
it life. I think life.
Ah,
I
funny
follow
enough,
God. Think life.
funny enough, we are working on a, a refix of that song at the moment.
Wow, wow.
I'm telling you, funny enough.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's a
Thank
privilege.
you so much, man.
It's a privilege, big one for me to have you
The
here
pleasure
tonight.
is mine, man.
It's a privilege,
Thank you
sir.
so much, man.
Thank you all for joining us. This is Speaking Gospel Live. I'm here with my own brother, our one and only Tosin D. He's here with us
I'm so
tonight.
honored. I'm so honored, man. I'm so honored,
Hearing
man.
from his mouth himself this evening. Thank you all for always
Thank you, man.
being so. Thank you all for always being there and connecting every time we are live. I didn't take this for granted anyway. I want to say a very big thank you to everyone. And I'm sure Tosin is also happy to to be in our midst tonight. I don't know, but I know he's happy.
I am, definitely. I am.
We won't take much of your time, sir. But
Yes,
before I
man.
start, I would like to say a very big thank you to you, and I want to say something to the audience. The person you see in front of us this evening is Adeji Modi Oluwatosin Akinkunbi. It was born May 24th. I can still remember that very, very well. Yeah, contemporary gospel singer, is a songwriter, recording artist from Oyo State. I want to say thank you for joining us tonight. Known as Tosin B, one and only Tosin B. Thank you so much. If you want to know,
Thank you so much.
if you want to know the school you went to, just privatize me. Don't worry, I don't need to tell you. But if you privatize me, I will tell you. Don't worry. So just tell me. Thank you so much for tonight. Tosin B is a contemporary African gospel musician. Already, he has an album titled Testimony. That's what I was playing right now before the show began, which he described as a summary of all God has done for him, released in 2016. His second album, You Are Good, we all know it, we sing it everywhere. And he has other music, Praise Medley 1.0, and the one is also coming up. I hope you're ready for that. That's a blast. Coming up soon. So Tosin B is one of the top gospel African. Nigeria is a songwriter, like I said earlier on, and he is happily married. So don't go there. Don't go there. Thank you so much for coming tonight, and it's my privilege to
Thank
have
you,
you
ma.
here. I really do
Thank you,
appreciate. Do
ma.
you want to say something to the audience before we start? You want to say hello to the audience? You want to say thank you for joining us? You want to introduce yourself to them?
All right, people. I want to say good evening to you all, joining from wherever you're joining from. Thank you for joining, and thank you for your support. Over the years, and I do not take it for granted. And I'm trusting that you're going to have a good time this evening. We'll have one or two things to learn from each other by God's grace. Thank you for joining,
Amen.
guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Yeah, the topic
Yes,
before
ma'am.
us, we'll just quickly go to the point. The topic before us says the merits and challenges of infusing traditional African gospel music into contemporary gospel music. Like we all know, we want to know, we want to learn from you because we know you. You can twist any song into anything. We know you. You can turn worship into praise. Easy with anything. So we want to learn that skill from you because we know God has been helping you, and I know it's by the grace of God. We want to learn. Please remember to subscribe here. Please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel and also subscribe to IG.
Yes,
You can see we are here. Subscribe. So simply tell them to follow me. Or tell them to follow your sister.
yeah. So please follow my sister. She matters to me a lot too. Uh, Follow her, and she's got a lot of content, powerful content that will edify, it will bless you. So make sure you subscribe and follow her.
Thank you so much.
You will learn a lot.
Yeah, we have
Hmm.
this show right from UK. I'm in UK, and Tosin is right in Nigeria, and it's going to give us some hints on what to know. Our first question for you tonight says, what are the key merits of infusing traditional African gospel music into contemporary gospel music? Thank you so much. That's our first question, please.
Yeah. I think the major thing for me
Yeah.
is uh, for global reach.
Okay.
I think it's for global reach really. Um, for instance, when you pick a song that is well known, um, maybe abroad, you understand,
Yeah.
that is well sung abroad, you understand, then you bring it in to Africa, and then you try to infuse some local, vibes to it. Automatically, it appeals to us because it is a sound that we can relate with. Do you
Yeah.
understand? So it
Yeah.
appeals to us more around here, unlike the way it's always been. For instance, uh, imagine something like "I Come Before You
Yeah.
Today," which is ordinarily a worship song, naturally
Yeah.
written by, Don Wayne. You understand? Now
Yeah.
imagine bringing it back home and you
I'm
infuse
telling
some, local vibes to it,
you.
make it percussive and what have you. It will appeal to us on this side in Africa. You understand more. We can relate with it properly more. I think essentially that's the major reason we try to do that. And the same applies to us picking a song that is, foundationally African. You pick it and you now infuse some contemporary vibes to it. When
Yes.
an Englishman hears it, you understand, they can relate with it. I remember when I released Praise Unlimited, I got some people,
Mhm.
that were like, oh, really? They could relate with it because it is their style. It is something that they hear every now and then that is now infused into the African thing. So I think essentially it's more for a global reach. So
Okay. We can hear that it's more of a global rate, and that's it. So if you have any question before we go, we'll be giving out some You can send the message through. If you have a question for Tosin B tonight, you can send the message through. We are not going to take much of his time because he's a busy person and he has some other things to do. Having him here was a very big one for me. So we are going to be moving. He said it's a global reach. That was for a global reach, and that's it. That's it. Truly, that's it. So we are going to move to the second question tonight, which says, what are some specific musical elements or instruments from traditional African gospel music that can be successfully incorporated into contemporary gospel music? Yeah,
Okay, I like this.
I like
Okay,
this.
I think I think one or two of them would be the talking drum. At
Yeah,
least talking from a Niger perspective now.
yes, yes. I
The
was
talking
expecting that.
drum, the talking drum, and maybe shekere, that the one they call shakers over there. Do you
Yeah,
understand? So when you have elements like this, incorporated into a contemporary music, it
yeah,
automatically gives it a different vibe. It gives
that's
it
it.
an African feel. Do you understand?
Yeah,
So it
yeah,
works very well. So automatically it gets it more percussive. You understand?
yeah,
Because the talking
yeah.
drum is highly rhythmic, and it's a drum that can actually speak and can talk.
That's
You understand? So when the
it.
player begins to
That's
play,
it.
you make some conversations with it and everything. And beyond that,
That's it.
there's this percussive vibe that it brings, and it's
Mm,
always sweet. Yeah,
mm.
that's it.
That's it. That's it. Thank you so much. You cannot hear that talking drum. I was also expecting that because that talking drum has done a lot in music. Like seriously,
That's
you will
right.
see
That's
you
right.
playing worship. You'll be seeing talking drum talking into worship songs. And I just wonder how does it? And you do that a lot. And sometimes you're
Yeah.
like, how will you do this? And sometimes you just come up with worship songs and it will go into talking drum and we have parents today that love talking drums. So this is the way we can bring them up. Like they want to get
Mhm,
life,
mhm,
traditional way. Yeah, I want to see that. But bringing this
mhm,
can also help a lot. Thank you so much for
mhm,
that
mhm.
hints. And I know
Thank you
some
so
people
much.
are hearing those hints right now. So we can make use
Mhm,
of them in our own way of life too. Our
mhm.
third question for tonight says, how does the fusion of traditional and contemporary style in gospel music attract a broader audience and bridge generational gaps?
One thing is, music is a universal language. You understand? And so it doesn't matter whether you are speaking or you are singing in Yoruba or Igbo or now, for instance, look at the way Afrobeat has really gone global
Mm,
now. You understand?
yes, yes.
Some of these guys that have taken Afrobeat outside the shores of Africa, a lot of the songs they are singing, they are not even actually in English.
Mm,
Do you understand? Some
mm,
of them are in pidgin English, some are
yeah,
even in Yoruba, some are even a fusion of Igbo and what have you. You understand? And these people, when they hear it, even though they don't understand what you're saying, they still vibe with it.
mm,
Because music is a universal language. As long as
mm,
it is sweet to the ears, it
mm,
is pleasant to the ears. You
mm.
understand? People can relate with it. So it doesn't matter the language, it doesn't matter um, whatever language you're using, or whether you're from Nigeria or Togo or what have you. You understand? As long as the sound is pleasant to the ear, you understand? People can relate with it and they can connect with it. So that's
Yeah,
one thing about music, and
that's
that
it.
way, of course, you can bridge the African, side with the contemporary side. Do you understand?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it makes it easy as long as
yeah.
the music is pleasant to the ears. So.
Thank you so much. As we were just talking, and some people are joining us, I want to say you're welcome to this show. Bidemi Omoba, welcome my brother from another. I'm glad to have you all here tonight. We are speaking from UK here in UK, and my brother we are on the topic says the merits and challenges of infusing traditional African gospel music into contemporary music. That's what Tosin B is speaking on tonight, and we are glad to have
Mhm,
him. Thank you all for joining. Thank you. If you have any question, like we said earlier on, you can just text us or send it here, then I will read it out to Tosinbi when it's time for me to do that. Thank you so much. Thank you so Tosinbi for that. That's a wonderful one. We appreciate you on that. We'll be going to the next
mhm.
question, which is the number 4 question that says, what challenges may arises when integrating in traditional African gospel music into contemporary gospel music, such as language barriers or different music structures? You know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the major thing is the language barrier issue. You
Mm.
understand?
Yeah.
People might struggle with having to understand what you're talking about or what you're singing.
Yes, sir.
Do you
Yeah.
understand? So, and that's why, uh, as much as you are trying, whatever you're trying to do, Sha, just try as much as possible to make sure that it is well balanced. You
Mm.
understand? So, if I'm infusing maybe like in Yoruba with an English vibe, you understand?
Yeah.
The onus is on me to make sure that we have some element of Yoruba and an element of English in it, such
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
the Yoruba people can flow with it, and the English guys too. At least even if it's just one word, you understand, they can relate with it. You
That's it.
understand? So I think that's always the major issue, the language barrier issue. So
Yeah.
that's the thing. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. We saw that
Yeah.
coming. Language barrier, yes, it's a lot of. I think it's a lot in music. It's what should be
Hmm.
considered. It's what to be put in place if you are going to
Hmm.
do such a thing. Yeah. The we don't want to take up much of your time. The number five question, because I know some your audience will have questions for you, so we're trying to at least look into that also. So the
Hmm.
next question is the fifth question is that what way can artists effectively balance the authenticity of traditional African gospel music while ensuring its relevance and appeal to contemporary audience? In what way?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
um, I think majorly um, the originality must not be
yeah,
lost. Do you
okay,
understand?
yes,
In anything you're trying to do, I always tell my guys, I always tell people around me that. So as much as I want to try and have a fusion of African and contemporary,
yeah,
in my music, I love to experiment with that. But at
yeah,
the same time, I must first of all know that for us on this part of the world, in this part of the world, I must first of all know that I'm African. You
that's it.
understand? Well, so I must not. There's no way I want to be more English than an Englishman. Do you understand?
Yes,
There's no way I want to be more more. Is it Arabic or Arabian than an Arabian man? Do you understand? So the or that I must make sure that I keep that originality going. So
yeah,
anything I'm putting on it will not be
yeah,
an extra. I can't
extra.
if I'm working on a song now, I must make sure that that African
Still
flavor
there.
is the bedrock.
That's
Is the bedrock. You
that's
understand?
it.
Anything I'm adding to it should not. I should not superimpose any other thing on it. Like it will now be the one taking the major
Part
uh,
of the song.
part
Yeah,
of the song. You understand? So
yeah,
that
yeah,
African feel must still be kept properly because in
yeah.
your originality, that's where the respect will be. If I come to
Mm.
the UK now and I want to start sounding like an Oyibo man, they may not really respect me because I can't do it like them, really.
That's
I
it.
can't do it like
That's it.
them.
That's it.
Uh-huh. So
That's it.
where the respect will come in is when I sustain that uniqueness that is in the
Yeah,
African vibes that we have. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. So on the long run, you're just trying to tell us that don't get lost on the road. Whether whatever you're
exactly,
doing, still be committed to your own thing. Do your own thing. Don't
exactly,
go and sound like someone
exactly,
else and start forming one or you boyish.
exactly,
So we
exactly.
get that. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so
Hmm.
much. And for those
Hmm.
who are joining us, we appreciate you. Thanks for joining us tonight. We listen. Big thank you to everyone for joining us. The next question say, how does the infusion of traditional African gospel music into contemporary gospel music impact the worship experience and spiritual connection for listeners? I think it just sounded like number three, but I think it's
Exactly,
yeah, sounded like number
Ex-
three. Yeah, yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
How does
So like I said earlier.
earlier?
Okay, so
Yeah,
back to that question. How does the infusion of traditional African gospel music,
gospel music. Yeah,
okay,
gospel music
into
into
contemporary
contemporary
gospel
gospel
music impact?
impact worship experience and spiritual connection for listeners, people that are hearing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So like I said earlier, so when you have a fusion like that, and you
yeah,
have the some African feel, you understand? and you have the
Yeah.
contemporary feel in it. There are some of us that prefer to have that Oyibo experience. You
Yes.
understand? It's easy to connect when we get to that Oyibo experience. And for some of
Yes.
us that love that Ijele Africaness, you understand?
Yes.
So when we have that African part, it's easy. For instance, you have songs like let me see a song that has both African and contemporary now.
Mm.
I'm trying to. But just imagine a song that has both African and the English or the contemporary side to it. So an
Yeah.
average mama that is selling pepper on the road, you understand?
That's
When they
it.
get to that part where they are singing the African part or the Yoruba part, she
They
can
will
relate
dance on
easily.
it.
You
That's
understand?
it. That's it.
Okay. Thank you for fighting my battles for
That's
me,
it for me. Yeah.
Jehovah
Oh,
Olubeja. Do you understand?
yeah. Yeah.
So, someone that does not understand Yoruba, thank you for fighting my battle for me,
Then,
Jehovah. That
then the
automatically captures
Olubeja own.
everything. When you say
Yeah.
Olubeja, that an average woman on the road understand what Olubeja means. You understand?
That's it.
So
That's it.
both are saying the same thing. So
That's it.
it has a way of killing two birds with one stone.
That's it.
So I
That's
think
it.
that's essentially what it is.
That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Like you just said now, thank you for fighting my battle for me. I think people will just, like here now, this our Igbo land, they'll tell you, what's this talking about? But they've seen the thank you for fighting for me. So I think they will be interested. That will draw them forth. That will draw their attention. Sir.
Exactly.
If somebody is fighting for you, then they will now want to be interested in knowing what Olugbeja is. So they cannot ask you, what is that
Exactly.
Olugbeja? You now tell them.
that
So
that
things like,
that way you're even teaching them, you're even using that music to convey your language and to
that's
teach
it.
them your language again.
That's it,
So
sir.
it's a
That's it,
it's
sir.
a lot.
So
Yes,
it's really a good one. Thank you so much, sir. We are really learning a lot. I'm also learning from you a lot.
yes,
And for those
with
watching
us,
us,
God,
I hope we are learning and we have our questions because this is the last question for tonight. I will be opening the floor
man.
for anybody that wants to ask any question. We are not going to bring you in, but you're going to send us a message. If you have any question, please start typing. You want to ask us a big question, start typing. I've told you he's married, so don't ask for married. So just type question and what we are doing. Type us question what we are doing and what we are saying. So that he can put whatever you don't understand musically, you can also ask. I'm sure he's here, he will put little light on his own part to it. Thank you so much, sir. The last question for tonight says, what are some successful example or case studies of artists or songs that have effectively blended traditional African gospel music with contemporary gospel music, and what lesson can be learned from them? I think it just sound like number six, but let's see. We'll see.
So I think I can mention a Samuel Oposo of blessed memory. I can mention
That's it.
a Tim Godfrey.
That's it.
I can mention a Freke.
That's
I
it.
can mention a Sonny Badu.
Wow.
Uh,
Okay.
I can mention the list goes on.
Yeah.
But the thing is that a lot of people are always scared of doing that, really, of fusing African and contemporary because sometimes they feel it's a risk. You understand? Then
Mm,
then it can be a struggle to blend both together. You understand? In a way that it will sit down properly. So people
that's
tend to shy away from it. So their understanding is that I do contemporary or I do African. But having to do the fusion can be a bit of a struggle for some people. You
yes,
understand? But these people
definitely.
they've been able to, do it successfully, and it worked. It's
That's
worked really. And I can mention my humble self too. It's safe to mention my humble
mm,
self too. I think
yeah,
we are trying something to at least make that happen also, and I think it's working gradually. So I think with those few people, I believe that it has worked. Yeah.
yeah. So we have learned. We should learn from them. What do you think? What are the lessons that we should learn from them? What do you think we
So
should learn
I
from
think like I said earlier, I
them?
think in everything they try to do, for every time they try to do a blend of both, they
Yeah.
ensure that the originality is still well
Yeah.
preserved.
Okay, sir.
Do you understand? Jesus, I thank you. Welu, welu,
Good.
welu, 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 welu. You understand?
Yeah.
Let me see. This one about this song again. Was I can't remember again, but
Yeah,
you know, for every
okay.
time they try to, every time they try to do a blend like that, I'm trying to remember their song.
Yeah,
Um,
so I don't know why
okay,
I just forget them.
look at Nara,
Nara,
eh?
yeah.
Look at
Mm,
Nara. You have done so much for me, I cannot tell it all. Narekelemo. In fact, that's one practical example
yeah,
of a song that has been well blended, and even the Oyinbos are vibing to it, and we Africans are enjoying it too.
that's it.
Look at Email by Nathaniel Bassey. Look at uh, Ọlọ́run Àgbáyé, oh, You Are Mighty by
Mm,
Nathaniel Bassey. Do you
yeah,
understand?
yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Omar. Thank you. By we're in your presence, let
Yes,
it
let
rain
it in.
for your rain inside. Baba,
Yes, thank you so much.
you understand?
Oh, yeah,
You
that's it,
understand?
that's
So
it.
even as a white man, you don't understand. Okay, uh, okay, as an African, yes, maybe you don't understand this English words very well. You know, but
Yeah,
by the time you get to that Baba, you see everybody echoing it,
yeah,
they chant it. You understand?
that's
And the way that particular part of the song comes,
yeah,
it comes in a way that
mm,
it automatically sets your mind up, like you're lifting your hand to someone higher than you.
that's it.
Baba,
Mm,
it's more like a cry
yes,
out to someone
yes,
for help.
yes,
Do you understand?
yes,
So even
yes,
meaning that even if you don't understand the entire song, you get to that point, it propels you to just want to lift your hands up and just lift your
that's
eyes up
it,
to the one and only that can,
that's it.
So I think they've successfully, done that blending, and it has worked, and they have made us understand that it can actually work
Yeah.
if we do our,
Mm.
homework very well.
Wow. Thank you so much for tonight.
Thank you,
For
man.
just those joining us, we really appreciate. Oh, Mara, I saw you. Thank you for giving us into that song.
that's
Thank
that's
you
my
so
dear
much for
brother,
giving us.
Omar. God
Yeah,
bless you,
yeah,
sir.
yes, sir. We were in the show together recently, and it's a blessing. It's a blessing. Thank you
Yes,
so
sir.
much for joining.
Yes, sir.
Thank you all for
Yes, sir.
joining. Thank you all for being a blessing. You are a blessing, sir, and I don't want you to know that. If there's another name I'm
Thank you.
going to add to your name, that's humility. That's what I wanted to add to your name. So
Mm,
I don't know if I can give you to
thank
be
you, man.
humility because,
Thank you, man.
sir, your humility is touch not. You are humble. I don't think
Thank
maybe
you, man.
anybody that is hearing it tonight should not just think maybe I'm saying it because he's here. From distance, you are humble. Closeness
Thank
is
you,
even worse.
man.
Your
Thank
humbleness,
you.
your humility is something else. And I pray
Come on,
that God
man.
will
Thank you,
continue to
man.
bless you and increase you on every
Amen.
side. You will not know a
Amen.
better yesterday. In the mighty name of Jesus.
Amen.
I just called
Amen.
you last
Amen.
week that you'll be on this show. You didn't even take 1 month to think about it, and you gave me a date. No, that was wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
You are indeed a blessing to this generation
Thank
we
you so
have.
much, man.
But before
Thank
you
you, man.
go tonight, I don't know if some people have questions for us. Some maybe we'll ask people to send in their question. Then before the question time, we want you to bless us. People say tó bá wà lórí stage ohun wọn máa ń yàtọ̀ sí tó bá wà ní kinní but I tell them is a lie. My own to sing bí ohun ẹ̀rọ àpáni kò sí anything. So we want to hear you to just bless us. Somebody just said to Simbi, I know he's humble. Keep it up, bro. Somebody just hail you on that. Thank you so much. Thank you for
Thank
seeing
you
what I'm
so
saying.
much. I'm on board, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So
I really
we
appreciate
want
it,
you
man.
to be a blessing in any way, any song, just be a blessing to us. We appreciate it. Thank you. I said,
Um,
let him sing for us. Everybody shouting, let him sing for us. Okay, he's singing already. Just hold on, relax.
okay, so I'm just gonna sing one of the songs that God blessed us with, just to encourage someone tonight and to let you know that it doesn't matter what you're going through right now.
Yes,
God is still on the throne and
yes,
is able to still turn things around, and it
yes.
is happening right
Thank
away.
you.
Do you
Thank
understand?
you. Thank
Uh,
you.
the Bible says, "I'm the Lord of all flesh, and there is nothing
Yeah,
impossible for me to
yeah,
do." So it doesn't matter
yeah.
what anybody has told you or what you've come to believe for
Yes,
yourself.
yes, yes,
God
yes.
is able to turn things around. It's a very
Yeah.
simple. So don't mind my voice, so just enjoy it and let it bless you. There's a shift in the spirit. You
Mm.
can see it if you believe. There's a move. God is
Mm.
ready to do it.
Mm.
It is yours
Mm.
if you believe. I take that again. There's a shift
Believe.
in the spirit. You
Yeah.
can see it if you believe. There's a
Yeah.
move. God is ready to do it. It is
Wow.
yours if you
Mm.
believe.
Mm.
Glory, hallelujah. God is touching our lives.
Wow.
It's happening. It's
Mm.
happening. Glory,
Wow.
hallelujah. God is changing our lives. Oh,
Mm.
it's happening.
Mm.
It's
Mm.
happening.
Oh yeah.
I say
Wow.
concerning somebody tonight that
Thank you so
everything
much.
that you desire of God is
Mm.
happening for you today in Jesus' name. And it will make it
Amen.
happen very
Amen.
fast today.
Amen.
And
Amen.
by tomorrow, you will share your testimonies in Jesus' name.
Amen. Amen. Thank you
Yes.
so much. Pastor, I'm always saying
Thank you
hello
so
from this
much.
side. Everyone is saying hello to you from this side. We really appreciate you.
Hey, good evening, sir. Thank you so much, Pastor.
Everyone is
IDK, I
saying
see you.
hello.
I see you, IDK.
Thank you
I
all
can
for
see
being
some
there.
of
Do
my
you have
friends
any? Yo,
that
really?
joined. Oh.
Wow, please
Yeah, Kunle,
tell them to follow your sister. Tell them. Oh.
Kunle
Our sister is
Adetayo. Please follow my dear Mama. She's in the UK and she's a fantastic and anointed minister of God. She sings very well. Please follow her. You will
thank you
enjoy
so
God in
much.
her.
Really appreciate.
Yeah.
Do you have anyone that has questions? Do you have questions? Please let's be fast about this because we are going to call it a night very soon. Do you have anyone that have questions for Cindy tonight? If you have any question, please let's have it. Let's have it. Do you have any question? Just wave and let's see you. Let's see your question. We are going to leave that for 5 minutes and see if anyone will give us. I think we might just have something to ask you tonight. Nice session. We have Deborah Billy Ben. She's a gospel minister too. She's a darling sister. She's joining the live
God
stream.
bless you,
I
ma.
said nice section. Yeah, she's a blessing too.
God bless
She's
you, ma.
yeah, she's a blessing. She's in Abuja, Jai. So
Oh,
who is
God
who
bless you,
is?
ma.
Do you have any question for Tosin tonight? If you have any question, let's have it. Let's have it. Or we understand everything that's been told. If you have any question, this is a privilege to talk to him. He's a busy person. Let's have your question. Let's have your question. Is anyone having a question? Maybe they are typing.
Oh,
Let's give them some minutes. If there's no question, then okay. Somebody just asked a question from Ben David 41. He just asked, how do you feel being a worship minister? That's the question for you, sir. How do you feel being a worship minister? Thank you so much for
honestly,
that question.
I feel privileged. Uh, because it is a privilege, really. Um, and I feel honored to be part of the few that can actually, through my giftings,
Yeah,
you know, uh, lead others,
that's
in the presence of the Lord. You
mm,
understand?
mm,
I feel it's a privilege. You understand?
mm,
It is not a right or a like it is my right or something. No, no, no. It is a
yeah,
privilege. There are 1,001 people out there that can actually
mm,
sing also. You understand?
yes,
But
yes,
I feel privileged to have been separated. You understand?
mm,
And counted worthy to be part of those that can lead people in the presence of the Lord,
yeah,
not just to the presence, in the presence of the
mm.
Lord. Yeah,
No, thank you
it's a
so
privilege.
much sir,
Yeah,
for that.
thank you so
It's a
much, man.
privilege. That's a big one. It's a privilege. Serving God is a privilege. Sincerely speaking, God can call anyone. If God has called you,
That's
please
right.
don't take it for granted. Don't take it for granted.
That's
Serve
right.
Him with the whole of your heart. Don't take it for granted. Somebody just asking, David Samuel Olusegun said, "Who is your mentor, sir?" Said, "Who is your mentor,
Ah,
sir?"
I've got quite a number. You can have multiple mentors.
Yeah, of course,
You can ask.
of
So
course.
it is only. I've got quite a number of people that I, at least I learn from them. I pick things from them. At least
That's it.
the ones that I know will benefit me, I pick from them. So uh, the list is endless. So
Yeah.
as long as there is something you are doing out there that is a blessing to the people of God.
So do.
I can
That's
count
it.
you as a mentor. There's something I can pick from you. So, yeah, a
That's it.
mentor, directly or indirectly. So that's it.
That's it. That's it. Thank you so much. My brother from the UK, OJ Sachs. OJ Sachs just joined us. Thank you so much, OJ. God bless you for joining us. We have other people joining us. Oh, thank you so much. Do we also have any other question? I think people are typing, but for now, those
I
are the
think I
ones.
think somebody
Okay,
I think someone typed a
okay,
question that
sir.
I
If you
saw. I
can
don't
see
know.
from there, please. Okay, if you can see from there, please. Just, uh,
Yeah, let me see if I can
okay.
scroll back.
What is, I can see somebody
Uh,
saying, what is the procedure, sir? I don't know the procedure of what, but I don't know what the person is
okay.
talking about.
Someone said, "How do we invite you?" Oh, sorry.
Okay.
In RCCG. How do we invite you to minister in our church, RCCG? Okay. Uh, my number
Okay.
is my number is the easiest to get. Actually,
I'm telling you,
is it is
this
out
one
there.
here is
It's
not.
everywhere. My number is an open secret.
That's
You
it.
understand?
That's it.
So
That's it.
just search online. You see my number, so you
That's
can
it.
call. You
That's it.
understand? And we'll talk on the modalities. You understand?
That's it.
Okay. Another question is: do you
Okay.
tarry in the secret place to draw inspiration, or does it come
Mm,
naturally?
That's a big one.
Okay.
Mm.
So the the skills come naturally because I've done a level of rehearsals. I've done a level of servicing of my voice, and over time, I've gotten used to some of these things. So naturally, there's some skills that will just come. But being a minister goes beyond being skillful.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, you may not be that skillful music wise. You understand?
Mm,
And God will use you more than someone that is more skillful. Do you
mm.
understand?
Yeah.
So now the extra angle to being a minister
Okay.
is is away from being skillful.
Okay.
Um, you must carry something special, which I call the anointing. You
Yeah.
understand? And you can't just be anointed through your skill. You understand? There
Mm,
must be,
mm.
like what you said, there must be the place of tarrying in the secret place. You understand? To draw inspiration. You understand? So sometimes what some of us do is just they invite me for a program, and the next thing is, damn, I'm up. I'm just jumping from one stage to another. So, well, at some point the giftings may work for you. People
Mm.
may enjoy your skills and everything, but in the long run, it will show that you don't have the substance, you don't have the
Okay.
depth. And they're
Mm.
saying that "Unteba jele man gbefu." You understand?
Really?
It is so what you don't have, you can never give. You understand? It is from the abundance of your heart that you can actually, bless the people out there. So tarrying in the secret place is just, you can't overestimate that. You can't over. It is very important. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
As long as you
Okay.
call yourself a minister, but if you are just
Mm.
an artist that you're just saying, okay, you can just believe in your skill. Funny enough, even the people that are just normal artists, maybe let me say the secular guys that they are not really ministers per se, they still
Mm.
do, they know how they go about these things. Some of them still even still pray to God, that God, as we are going on stage now, help us and blah blah. And some that don't believe in God, they know how to go and see all these babas, maybe babalawo and all these herbalists and what have you, to do some concussion and what have you for them. So
Yeah.
nothing just happens. There must be something, doing something behind the scene. You understand?
Yeah.
There's a saying in Yoruba, they say, "Oh, Shaggy Logbe, oh, Ta Ogoro Lofa, oh,
Mm.
Agbenu Si Oro Pe Ofe Lo N Ro." It doesn't just happen like that. You must have done something in the secret. So
Yeah.
that's the
Thank
way it
you,
is.
sir. Yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of question is coming in for you. It's like these people don't want you to go tonight. Someone just asked
Eh,
you, do you mentor the upcoming music ministers? Do you mentor them? Upcoming
Yes,
music ministers.
yes, I've got a few people that at least directly or indirectly I am doing that for my best grace.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. The next
Yes.
one said, how do you minister to people when they feel down?
When they feel down.
Yeah, when they feel down. Because that's
Well,
what you just did now. if somebody was connected to what we just did now, I felt relief. Just that little song you sang now, I felt relief. So I don't know if there's another way you do it, but I enjoyed
Well,
that short time. And
the truth is, the truth of the matter is that me, when I'm going on stage, I'm just an avenue or like a vessel. Do you understand?
mm,
Or Gato Kumbo. I'm just a channel. I'm just an avenue. You understand? I'm just a vessel. You understand?
yes,
For God's outpouring. So he's
yes,
the one that does the work. So maybe
that's it.
someone is down now. I get on stage and I sing. I don't even know if somebody is down or not. You understand? But God is the one that would do the work. Through His
That's it.
Spirit. So
That's it.
me, I'm just a vessel, really. So that's why you must live a life of consecration, such that for every time you are called upon to minister,
Mm,
uh, uh, you are ready, or uh, you are set for it spiritually. Do you
that's
understand?
it. Mm,
Because you can be called upon, and just like you said, I should sing now, I should minister now. So
yeah,
imagine that
anytime. Yeah.
it can happen anytime. Do you understand? So as a minister, you must live that
Okay, I think
life
the person said
that is
when you don't feel like ministry at all. You just ended the
okay.
question now. Now, how do you yes, that when you don't feel like ministering at all, you just drop the last question on it.
Okay, so the reality is, like I said, there has been 1,001 times that I've gone to minister that I don't feel like ministering. That's the reality.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I have times that I'm going to minister and I'm not even happy. I'm sad. Do
Mm-hmm.
you understand? So, like
Yeah,
I said, it is the Holy Spirit that will do His work.
that's it.
God can use God can use anything.
That's
Eh?
it.
You are just a vessel. You are not the one doing the work.
That's it.
Do you understand? And
Yeah.
you know, you can't. There's part of the Bible that says that the gift and calling of God is without repentance. You understand?
That's it.
So if
Yeah.
God wants to use you, He will still use you, whether anything, whether you are a sinner or what have you. You understand? However,
Mm.
the Bible says, "Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound?" So meaning that if you feel that God is using you now, you understand, and you are in sin, you are sinning, but you feel that
Yes.
anytime you go out to minister, people still say, "Ah, they are blessed, they are blessed."
Yes.
Gradually, the
Light
grace that
out.
you think you're enjoying is dropping, is leaking, is leaking. One
That's
day,
it.
everything will crash.
That's it.
You'll be exposed. Do you
Mm.
understand? So,
Mm.
I think that's about all.
Yeah, thank you so much for tonight. We have to let you go. I don't know. We have to just let you go because I know you're a busy person and you have other plans for tonight also. Thank you for joining us. I told
Thank
you I
you.
can't take this is not for taken for granted at all. It's an honor to have you here in my program. I really appreciate you. We thank God for your life. You've been a blessing. I can remember when I mounted the stage with you in the program. I was so blessed. Mide Daniel is saying hello to you. All my people, they are saying hello. They said, that
Uh,
question has
that's,
always been on my mind. Somebody just said,
uh,
that question has always been on my mind, and you have trashed it tonight. So thank you so much for being a blessing to people out there. I want you to say one word to people that have joined tonight to watch you, to be in your program tonight. It's not easy to gather people here to watch us, sincerely speaking. So we thank you all for coming out. And to Sigi will be saying, say thank you before we call it a good night.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate, and I know it's a lot to sacrifice your time and your data to,
Yeah.
join a meeting like this online. But we appreciate you, and I want to believe that you picked one or two things that has blessed you.
Yes.
Like I said, please don't forget to follow Mama. You'll be blessed. She's anointed for this, and she's blessed for
Thank you
this.
so much.
God
Somebody just
bless
say,
you,
Baba,
really.
sing for us. Where were you when Baba was singing? Baba
I
has
did that
sang.
already.
So where were you?
I
Thank you
did
for
that
coming out
already.
tonight. Thank
Thank
you.
you,
We're
ma.
going to
Thank
call
you
it.
so
We're
much,
going to
ma.
call it a night. And yeah, God
Thank
bless
you, ma.
you. And everything you lay your
Amen.
hands on shall continue to prosper. You will not struggle in
Amen.
life. It should be easy for
Amen.
you in
Amen.
the mighty name of Jesus.
Amen.
Whatever you've been asking
Amen.
God for years, it shall be answered to you speedily in the name of Jesus. I appreciate
Amen.
you, sir.
Amen.
I love and
Thank you so
celebrate you.
much, ma.
God bless
I
you.
love you too,
And
ma.
do
Thank you.
enjoy
God
your
bless you, ma.
evening. God bless you,
Yeah, and you
sir.
too, ma. You
Bye.
too, ma.
Bye.
Yeah,
Thank you all
yeah.
for joining. Bye. Bye.
Bye.